Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Devyani, and this is yet another very informational video, very helpful video for everybody who will be doing their bachelor's or master's in the UK. So in this video, I'm going to share my individual assignment, which is a presentation. So a few weeks ago, I had put out this video on how to design your PPTs well. So there I talked about a lot of formatting options. Must watch that video. How to make it more visually pleasing and things like that. But this video, I'm going to actually share my assignment. So I'm going to start by like sharing the brief that was given to my professor. So the way I made my presentation, like without any background information, makes no sense. So I'm going to tell you what the professor wanted first. Then I'm going to talk about my marks and feedback. So I did get a distinction on this one, and getting a distinction in Kings is quite hard, not gonna lie, but yes. Then I'm going to share my presentation itself, and then I'm going to show you how I have incorporated theories at every step of the way. So I think having theories again is so important. So let's talk about that. So just to give you some background, I've done my masters in international marketing from King's College London, and this is my consumer behavior presentation. So this was my very first presentation ever I made in the UK. So there are a few errors. I'm not gonna lie, it's not perfect. So you should watch my revised, like the design part first, because that's gonna give you like a more background information. But yeah, that's that. And also I recommend you to watch two videos. First is this one, how to make digital notes. I've linked it right here. So here you can understand how you can like note down theories, and how while assignments are happening, how you can note things down to be more organized. And this is the second and the best video you will watch, which is like a 30-minute video where I have taken everything step by step. Like, how do you even start? How does the brief look like? Okay, then what are your first steps? How to do research? How to use like Google Scholar? How to do citations? And like, it's like the best video you will watch. So this presentation is, I'm just gonna show you like the feedback and sorry, I'm just gonna show you the brief and the presentation itself. I'm not gonna dive deeper, but this video is like, I think the one of the best videos I've made, which is so informational. So do check that out. Of course, I've linked it here and also linked in the description box below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. So before we begin, let me take a minute to talk to you about this video sponsor, which is Amber Student. So again, it is Southeast Asia's largest student accommodation provider. So if you know anybody who is moving to the UK and is looking for accommodations, I've added the link in the description box below. Do click on it, and Amber Student will contact you with all the information you need. So do check it out. So let us begin by understanding the brief that was given to us by our professor. So what does brief mean? Brief essentially means just the individual assignment, the topic, or whatever this document was provided to us by our teacher. So I've highlighted a few things to make things clear so as we talk, but let's go through this in detail. So you just want to skip this, you can watch it in 2x or whatever is convenient for you. But from my end, I'm going to go in detail and just take you through everything. So the further ones who are not very confident, things would be clear. So let us start. So this was the document in general. Final case study assignment. First, aim of assignment. So first we need to understand what does the professor want. So he has like highlighted it in 3 points. This final case study assignment aims to evaluate students' abilities to identify marketing problems, issues, or opportunities given in business situation, critically analyze these problems, issues, or opportunities from a consumer behavior perspective. So, because this was a consumer behavior module, so from a consumer behavior perspective, provide solid managerial recommendations backed by an appropriate application of relevant theories and analysis of consumer behavior. So, this is just like a background of what he wants. But as we go through the brief together, we will understand like what this actually means. So let's look at the submission instructions before we understand the brief. So this is an individual case study. Of course, it is 70% of my final grade. So of course, this had a lot of weightage. So it won't be easy, of course. So it contains a short case study about a brand facing marketing challenges, and that's similar to like the other case studies they had taught us in class. Okay, it is designed to test your ability to critically analyze consumer behavior, identify opportunities and issues, and then use to make solid recommendations that apply to consumer and buying behavior, theory, and concepts. So, this is basically the background, and then there is the deadline given. So, also, this is also very important to understand why I made the presentation the way I made it. the professor has told that there should be only 12 slides. So it should not be more than 12 slides, otherwise he will cut marks. That's what he told in class. So one slide per, per page, including your cover slide and then your bibliography slide. So the cover page is also considered like one page, which is like 11, and like your bibliography, and that is like your citations, has one entire dedicated page that is at the end. So it has to be a single PDF, da da da. You can pause and read through this. So the slides should tell a compelling story or a narrative, even if you're not actually presenting the document. So even though we have to submit a PDF, it should tell like a compelling story. So everything should flow together really well. That's what he wants. Obviously, you cannot write voluminous amounts of text on a slide. Use bullet points, tables, and smart arts. So here, he has mentioned a very important thing. So you cannot flood the document with a lot of information. He wants more visual, like minimalistic kind of assignment, where you use bullet points, table art, you have like some other short points, and he says short in incisive quantitative analysis where you think is necessary. So we can address the main issues like that. So he also asked provide, like it should have like an appendix which provides evidence. So you can also add notes if you want, but that's not what he really wants. He wants like more minimalistic kind of thing. And again, he has mentioned to use tables, smart art. So I have to use this in my assignment. And of course, academic references, whatever you want, Harvard, APA, everything was okay. So this was the submission details. So let us understand what the assignment is now. So again, I've highlighted a few things. So this is like the main assignment. So this paragraph and this part actually shows us what do we have to do for this consumer behavior project. So I've highlighted a few things. So this assignment was for the brand Tiffany and Co. So for the ones who do not know what Tiffany and Co is, it is a jewelry brand, as you can see here, and it actually symbolizes love. Like it has been one of the most romantic things to get like a Tiffany ring, like a lot of proposals and things like that. And they have this iconic blue box, like the blue Tiffany color, which everybody knows and everybody loves. If you've not checked their website, do check it out. Like even when I get proposed someday, I would love a Tiffany ring. But this is the project. So let us go through it in general. So Tiffany and Co is an iconic brand and a quintessential emblem of the global jewelry sector. So it is really an iconic brand. That is very true. So the CEO, like Bernard, whatever this guy is, so we are committed to supporting Tiffany, a brand that is synonymous with love and whose blue box is revered around the world. So everybody loves this brand. There is passion for this brand, and that has been one of the most prestigious brands over the years. So this guy appointed, a creative director, Ruba Abdulima, who was charged with updating this classy brand to excite a new consumer segment, that is young, trendy females. So, Tiffany and Co, because it has been in the market for so long, the brand wanted to target the younger audience. They wanted a campaign to, for the young, the trendy females. So her idea was to launch a campaign called Not My Mother's Tiffany. So this was the campaign she launched as advertising campaign, as well as revolutionizing what the brand stands for, including the easily recognizing 1837 blue. So this is like the color of the blue which Tiffany and Co uses. So she wanted to revolutionize everything. But the result, so this is like the campaign what she did, not your mother's Tiffany, and as you can see, there are young people who are using Tiffany. So this was the campaign. So the result was very mixed. So, like some young consumers enjoyed the fresh take of the brand, but some other loyal consumers were feeling alienated and disrespected by the campaign. So they were like, okay, we have been using Tiffany and Co for so long. We really love the brand. We are very loyal to the brand. And now you're saying, oh, it's like an insult. Ki, oh, it's not your mother's Tiffany, like it's for young people now. So, it was a very tough situation for the brand. So she faced a dilemma and had no easy option forward. So she heard that we was, doing a consumer behavior module, and she asked us to invite us to the next board meeting. So this is what she said. We need fresh critical ideas. Someone who can do an excellent analysis of the serious issues that face us, especially the consumer behavior issues. We need someone to give us a perspective on what is happening in the minds of consumers and why they reacted to this ad differently. We like to brainstorm potential remedies and recommend a marketing strategy to move forward. So, the first time I read this was a lot of information, so I had to read it like a couple of times to understand what is actually needed to be done. Okay, so basically, she wanted to understand what is the consumer behavior reasons that people are reacting differently. You know, they wanted to brainstorm some ideas and recommend a marketing strategy on what could be done differently, what can be done to move forward, and like a campaign in general. She wants insight on how Tiffany can keep engaging with the older loyal consumers in a respective way, still attracting the new segment. Would it be possible? Can Tiffany innovate the brand while maintaining loyal consumers? She is looking for careful consumer behavior analysis of the consumer groups and support your recommendations to support your recommendations. So basically, like this campaign was a fail because the older audience was disappointed. So now she wants a younger audience as well as to maintain an older audience. So would that be possible? So this is another example of what people have done, and then leave my mother out of this, leave my mother alone, and then people were not happy about this. So you are very excited about this opportunity and immediately discuss how to address this presentation with your instructor. So that is that. So you can also, I was asked to refer to the KCL gallery, I mean the KCL library, and some other like statistic website like Statista, you might know, Monitor Passport. Like these are all like a lot of data related websites which we had access to while we were studying, and he also has provided some citations to understand the problem better. So Tiffany brand needs an update. So this is it, guys. This was given to us, and as you can see, there is not a lot of information on what he wants. Like we know in general, like okay, he wants like 10 slides, he wants like visuals, he does want to understand, okay, make a campaign, uh target both things. But like okay, so let me know in the comments below how you would tackle this, and let's get to my presentation now. So as you can see here, I got a 70 on 100. So everything above 70 is a distinction. So I did get a distinction in this. And honestly, like in Kings, the maximum I know has somebody has scored in this project was like 72. So I think I did pretty good. For some other subject, it was 76 for IMC, in which our group project got 76. So that was the highest I've ever seen. So 70 is pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So some positive comments, some engagement with literature. You have identified some relevant marketing implications, some good discussion about consumer reactions towards the campaign, so which is from the consumer behavior perspective, and clear structure. What could be improved? Your analysis has a tendency to be very descriptive. Being more critical would be plus. So I think I went too theoretical for this. Maybe a bit more practical approach would have been good. There were some areas where analysis could have been done in a more in-depth manner. So it was kind of like contradictory when he says it's too descriptive, but then he says it could have been done in like more in-depth manner. So I don't know what he wants, but overall I'm very happy. So he said well done, and now let's look at the presentation. So now let us look at my presentation. So this is the first slide. If not your mother's Tiffany, then whose is? So this was like the tagline I gave this, and I made this presentation slide. So as you know, basically like the first slide is not counted. So this is the first slide, and now I have 11 slides left to communicate my message effectively. So this is not the best design slide, to be honest. I think I can do so much better now, but that time I did not know better. There was no YouTube videos like I'm making. So yeah, I had to figure a lot of things out. But as you know, the very first slide mostly is always an executive summary where what are the overall recommendations, what will happen in the campaign is mentioned here. So I won't go through this in a lot of detail. You can just read through that, but I will go through the other slides. So my very first slide was, okay, what is the background? What is the Tiffany story? Okay, so what he had mentioned was not a lot of text, visually pleasing bullet points and shapes. So I have literally done just that. So as you can see here, everywhere I have incorporated theory. So let me show you. So a luxury brand, ethos, logos, and pathos. So what is like I could have sent background information, what they believe in and things like that, but I use the technical term which is ethos, logos, and pathos. Then it was, where it was established, then the target audience. So this is like a general target audience which I've explained. Then I've talked about sells the concept of true love and power of love. So even though I have said true love and power of love, so here I have, like I have used peripheral persuasive campaigns like la la la. So I could have said like, okay, this can be shown because of campaigns like this, but I have used a theory term, like a technical term, like peripheral persuasive campaigns like this. So the professor knows, like, okay, I know what peripheral persuasive campaigns are. That's why I can relate to this. So this gives me like an extra mark. Then strong memory associative network. Like here I have added an in-text citation. So again, this is that, and true loyalty. So true loyalty and latent loyalty. So there are two other concepts which were taught by us by our professor. So I've included them here. And yeah, and then I've also like the most passionately and positively discussed brand on social media. So this is also taken by a very credible website. So I have linked it right here. So there are two in-text citations and one, two, three, four, five theories that I've used on one slide. So here are mental nodes. So we had a concept of mental nodes. So I have like visually represented that how it looks. So there are few errors, to be honest. Like I think this is blue for some reason. So I think I've just not paid a lot of attention to detail back then because everything was so new again. But okay, everybody makes mistakes. So yeah, let's just move past that. So yeah, so again, like this is the background Tiffany story, but I have presented in a way that makes it more academically appealing. So it is like does not have any everything whatever is related firstly to my campaign which I'm going to recommend, secondly to some theory, or thirdly which has like in-text citations, and to some research which was conducted before. So yeah, this is the background story. So then, okay, then I'm still talking about the background. So before the launch, uh so this is the date. So many people had this kind of perception about the brand. So IBM Watson was taught to us at our class, so I used that resource to find this data. So okay, so now we need to understand, okay, like Tiffany does want to target the young audience, but why do they want to do so? So why is that a good idea? So I have done some research on the need to target the youth. So here, as you can see, there are a lot of in-text citations. So cognitive identification. So this is again a theory, states that okay, this is an in-text citation. So again, if you don't know what citations are and referencing how it works, I have made a dedicated video on that called referencing. So just check that out. I mean, there are I think videos about every small thing on my channel now. But yeah, so this is like an in-text citation. Then again, I have added some information, again a citation. So the younger generation is considered to be more aspirational, another citation. So millennials have surpassed the population by 4 million compared to baby boomers. Then there is another theory, the principle of social proof. So this is another theory, da, 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 and then this is given by Smith. So as you can see, like is either in-text citations or theories that I've used, and then I've, because he wanted some smart art, I have added that right here. So scrolling down, so how did the campaign affect the decision process? Because as you can, if you remember from the brief itself, he wanted like, okay, what is the background, why it happened, and how did it affect the consumers. So here I have used the EKB model. So for that, yes, you need to know some theories, you need to know your background, you need to study for that. So before the campaign, existing audience, so how it was: awareness, information processing, evaluation, purchase decision, da, da, da. And even here, like, understand the ethos of Tiffany. Like everywhere I have used some kind of theory again. um yeah, so evaluation, so how it changed. So before it was this and now it changed to this. So made the theory of social proof made things worse. So again, used a theory and have given some examples of what the reactions were. Then this is a completely visual thing. So Tiffany's story alternated perceptions. Here, as you can see, before the Not Your Mother's campaign, Not Your Mother's Tiffany campaign, the brand stood a power of love which was experienced by all. But accommodation took place and a new stimulus, the ad. So here I've used the keyword stimulus like for the thing which is changing. Then accommodation is another technical term in consumer behavior. Then existing schema. Then schema is another word I have used. Then cognitive dissonance was seen. So if you look, like, read the sentence, like it's like literally accommodation took place as the new stimulus did not fit in with the existing schema, and hence new schema was created, and hence cognitive dissonance was seen. So as you can see again, like filled with theories. So even though this like is more visual, yeah, this explains. This resulted in perception change, and mothers felt like the brand is disowning them. So before the campaign, everybody felt this way, and now they are like against mothers, something like that. So this is what resulted of that. So now Tiffany and Co has been targeting the older generation positively for a long time now, featuring them in dads and things like that. So, if the marketing messages from Tiffany's are not met, it can trigger cognitive dissonance, like I have mentioned before, and trigger the disconfirmation model, that is the negative road. So, disconfirmation model, again, to understand what it means, hence, the current consumers might change their habits. Negative word of mouth can take place through negative satisfaction. Another citation. So, again, I have explained the disconfirmation model right here. So, like confirmation model, disconfirmation model, and yeah, so things like that, and that have explained what happens. So despite the pandemic, us dwellers say that sales have increased by 106%. So everything is going in a flow right now. So okay, so what happened, okay, why it's happening, things like that. So now I have talked about the differences between the generations. So, first we need to understand. So, the question was, is it right to revolutionize the brand by only targeting the younger audience, or generation's contribution matters, like, or older generation contribution matters in the long run? So, I have like explained, okay, what are the pros and cons of the older generation, and what are the pros and cons of the younger generation? And yeah, so that's like a pretty basic slide here again. I have given a lot of citations. So you have one, like two. So here we have two, yeah, three, four, yeah, four citations in this. So now we have a potential course of action. So here are like what can happen, what is the implication of that. So if you take a completely offline, so hedonic rewards are preferred. So again, a very consumer behavior term. Then loyalty effect, another consumer behavior theoretical term. So like I have tried to do that, and yeah, basically. So option A is like just offline, like reaching to the older generation. Option C is the younger generation, but we want option B, which is best of both worlds, which we decided to go for. So then the campaign, which was designed by me. So now this is like the background information. Okay, what has happened? Okay, why do you need to do? So what can you do? So there are three options, and then I choose the middle option, and this is what we want to do. So we're about target both baby boomers and younger generation. So it would be a 360-degree transgenerational campaign to celebrate womanhood as sisterhood. The psychoanalytic theory, so here again a theory, will be used to influence consumer decisions by emotions and desires. Emotional appeal will be used in this campaign to evoke a feeling of love. This would be done by visual representation, and then all of this like background information I've given, like okay, the Tiffany blue will be used, localization would be used, and things like that. So which are the persuasion techniques? So unity, show relationships and bonds with female best friends, family members, liking popular pop culture, female duos like Hannah Hathaway and Julie Andrews can be featured. Like these are from the Princess Diary, so like of course that goes with Tiffany blue. And social proof, like 70%, 75% women say that they will get matching necklaces with their mother or something like that. The model of advertising effect will guide whatever it is, and that was the message. So the basically the campaign would be called Not Just Your Mother's Tiffany. So through that, it will focus on relationships. So, like a father, oh, sorry, not a father, like a mother daughter relationship, sisters relationship. So, as you can see, there's like a baby right here. So, more towards like celebrations or graduation, as you can see. So, something like that. So, it was very important that, okay, my campaign idea was not the most important thing right here. My campaign could have been like out of the world, but if all these things were not in place, this had no value. So that was that. And then the bibliography page, I don't know why this is in bold, but yeah. So here, as you can see, everything has been arranged alphabetically. So yeah, this was my overall presentation, again, to take you through everything. First, the background of Tiffany, then, okay, why the need to target the youth, then how the campaign affected their, the older audience decision process, then, okay, why did that really happen, then this is focusing on the why mostly, then, okay, what is the difference between older and younger, what would be the best option, there are three outcomes of that, what would be the best one, the middle one, and then the campaign itself. And in 10 slides everything was communicated. I think I've done it like pretty well, not gonna lie. Boasting myself, but yeah, I have put a lot of effort, because like all these theories, like it took me really long to like just understand the meaning and then create the campaign. Yeah. So that was it from my end. So hope you found this video helpful. I really hope you did. And consider subscribing to my channel. See you. Bye bye.